Jai Sriman Narayana. Introduction to Sri Vaishnavism, Part 5. The Bhagavad Gita continued. In our previous session, we discussed karma and jnana and how they form the first 6 chapters of the Gita. Karma is merely action. Whatever action we take, it can be an action that results in something good or an action that can result in something not good, but it is simply just an action. But every action that we do has some effect upon us. This is what we call as papam and punyam. If our actions have good intentions and are intended to be good, it will bring good results. If our actions are selfish, or are not correct in our thinking, it will result in bad results. So the way to ensure that the action is correct, Krishna says, is to dedicate the action to Him. The reason is because He is the owner of this universe. And because He is the owner, our actions really should be for His benefit, for His result. So, in other words, just like an employee working in a company, we have a job to do. The ultimate person who benefits or suffers from the result is the owner. So it's not our responsibility. We just simply do what we have to do. And if we do it correctly, the owner will be happy, the company will be happy, we'll get promotions and so on. If the owner is unhappy, obviously we have a risk of getting fired. So similarly, karma yoga says you put the result on the owner. You dedicate the result to the owner, who is Krishna, and you do the action in a way that you think that Krishna would benefit from the action. So all actions which are ethical, which are moral, which are compassionate, which are well-wishing, are good actions. Therefore, our results will be good. That is karma yoga. Jnana yoga comes after karma, when we realize through our ethical action that we are not this body, that we're actually a jiva, an atma, a consciousness that is operating with intention, a vehicle for dealing with this world, which we call deha, or body. We are pervading this body, even though our presence, our true self, is very, very minuscule. It cannot be seen. We are within a body, operating and pervading it and operating everything. That is called jnana. But we can't just stop there and say, okay, I know myself now. But myself is just a tiny little fraction of a whole number of uncountable numbers of selves. So there are uncountable numbers of souls in this universe. So how do I relate to all of this? By recognizing again, by dedicating the jnana to Krishna, to recognizing that He, being the owner of everything, wants everything to be in harmony. So my jnana, my wisdom must be that I am living, I am existing for that owner, who is allowing me to occupy this space and operate for the benefit of both myself and others. That is jnana yoga. When you realize your paritantriyam, your dependence upon the owner who takes care of us. From these two, devotion develops. Because some of us will recognize that because this person is the owner, everything that we want in our lives in terms of happiness can come only if we are there to please Him. So we go into a path in which we act with devotion, in which we live our lives centered around Him. That is called bhakti yoga, and that is the third yoga that Krishna speaks of. Bhakti yoga is a yoga of loving kindness towards God, recognizing that anything we want in our lives comes from God, comes from the Supreme Being, because He is the owner of this world. The example is given in the Alvar literature, and we'll talk about the Alvars later, of how this owner operates. There is a man who owns a lot of land, And he wants the land to grow and crops to come up and maybe to utilize the land to get some benefit for himself. He is a rich man, so he doesn't go and try to work that land, lots of land by himself. He starts calling people. And he calls each individual and says, I will give you 10 acres of land, right? If you work it for me, and I will give you all the tools and instruments and everything that you need to make this land into good crops and make up profits for us. And as salary, I'll give you part of the profits. Part of the profits go to you. So the man, that's such a good deal, we would agree, wouldn't we? Right? So that living life that way is the life of karma, jnana, and bhakti yoga. Yoga means to connect. Whom are we connecting with? With Krishna. And that is the lifestyle that Bhagavad Gita recommends. And that covers the next 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Now we have the last 6. And that last 6 we'll discuss next time. Jai Sriman Narayana.